Hey, Assel, welcome to our next podcast. The topic today is pretty broad, pretty general, but pretty key to our clients, and it's how does lead generation help you grow your business? So let's get back to fundamentals. How does lead generation help you grow your business?
Hi
No
Jen, I'm
problem.
doing good. Thank you. It's a great topic because mostly when we discuss, it's more about the specifications on what to do, what not to do. Instead, today we'll just gonna talk more about how lead generation can help overall. So I think the first thing that comes into my mind is that lead generation creates a lot of predictability. Most of the companies that we work with or come across, they generally depend on referrals or word of mouth alone, and it kind of makes it hard to forecast your sales and sales funnel and the sales pipeline. But once you have a lead generation system in place, you can predict how many calls you are having per week, and from there, what is your closing rate, and it kind of gives you more stability and predictability on how to grow your company or how often you're gonna land more projects, and it creates like kind of more stability overall. That is the first thing that comes to my mind. What about you?
Yeah, I think just to clarify that point, when we're talking about lead generation, we mean systematic outbound lead generation,
Exactly.
as compared to the word of mouth referral kind of lead generation, which is less predictable. So when you say it makes it more predictable, it means you have a process, right, that you can repeat and bring in a certain number of new conversations. And I think the only thing to qualify that is, in order to have a predictable process, you need to be able to refine really well what you do and who you help. And this is actually a big problem for a lot of clients who only rely on word of mouth and referral. Is kind of business comes inbound and they can kind of do a bit of everything. You know, if somebody needs ads, they can do it. If someone needs copywriting, they can do it. If they need website, they can do it. If they need SEO, they can do it. And so when you do lead generation or outbound, it becomes really complicated if you kind of do everything, because it means it's really hard to get a predictable system to bring in new business. And so something that we always have to work quite hard with our clients is not necessarily excluding things that they do, but identifying the sweet spot of what they do the best for the client that is the best, and that kind of, it's almost like a center of the target. And then if we identify that bit, then we can go to market, reach more leads, generate more conversations, and predictably bring in more business. So I think that's just kind of key to think about when we're just saying lead generation helps your business, because it helps you refine your message, refine your value proposition, find the right lead, bring in the right lead, close more business on a regular basis. Yeah. Cool. What's next on your list? How else does lead generation help your business grow?
I think that it really kind of helps you stand out is it sharpens your offer overall, because of the feedback that will come from the outreach, the responses that you're gonna get, or if your message is getting ignored or people are constantly uh, saying no to you, it helps you refine your messaging and value proposition, which may lead to a better market fit. And it also helps you win bigger deals, because once you have a system in place and you are having more opportunities in the funnel, it helps you qualify harder, push back on the bad fits, and pursue higher value clients. So all in all, again, it comes down to where you were just saying like it's a proper system, and through that, once you have more opportunities in the pipeline, you can say no to bad fit or the projects that you are not super excited about, maybe it's about the profit margin, or for whatever reason, you'll have the capacity to say no, and it's just gonna help you grow your business overall.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So what you're saying essentially is lead generation helps you refine your value proposition by talking to your market, hearing them respond to your message. You're essentially sharpening what you say and
Yeah.
what you do. And by doing that, you land bigger deals because you start to really listen to your market and understand them, and then position what you do in a favorable way to get the best results and do that consistently. So
Yep.
it's not only market research, it's also product research in a way, like really refining your product and what you do to get yourself to the point where you're charging a lot for the best client and retaining them and creating lots of value. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, you can say no to a lot of people. And a big problem we see with our clients is they kind of say yes to everything because they're afraid of saying no and losing business. But then this creates this broad approach of doing a little bit of everything. But if you have a proper outbound system and you know who you can go after, and that sharpens and sharpens and sharpens, you can say no to the bad business
Yeah.
and focus on the good business and then just get really, really good at that. So yeah, I hadn't thought of that before, but that's a really good point. Okay, any other points around how lead generation helps you grow?
Not the point, but I have a question for you. Most of the people or my friends that I discuss business with, it is something in general people say who have never really invested in lead generation. So one of the key arguments that I hear is why don't I just hire more salespeople instead of investing in lead generation? So a lot of people think that way. Like once they have to scale and win new projects, they go for hiring of sales team instead of doing the lead generation. So what do you think about that approach?
Um, I don't understand why why it's either or, because you need leads for the sales team to close, right? So usually it's founder-led leads, as in the founder takes the sales and closes business. And then when you need more leads, you maybe hire a lead generator or someone to generate more leads so the founder can take more sales calls and close more deals. And then eventually you hire a sales team, and usually you delegate to them to generate leads and close business.
Yeah,
And so it's kind of just like a continuation of the same thing. So yeah, hire a sales team. That's a great idea, but you need to know that the sales process is proven once it's no longer the founder selling and another person is selling. Do they know exactly the value proposition? Do they sell
sure.
as well as the founder? Can they speak with absolute certainty? And do you have a process where the leads are coming in for them to sell, you know? So it's kind of like links in a chain. I don't think it's like one or the other. What do you
Yeah.
say when people ask you that?
I think it's a misconception. Like you said, lead generation is entirely different. Whoever is taking the sales call, be it founder or salesperson or sales manager, they need leads at the end of the day. But I think most of the people that come up with this argument, they have a misconception that salesperson is in charge of generating the leads himself, and it
Right.
kind of creates the confusion and it makes the job of the salespersons more difficult, and that's why they
Absolutely.
see more failure. And like you said, if you don't really have a proven sales process and the founder is not taking the sales call, it's not going to work out either way because the salesperson, can't really, if A, they have to generate their own leads, and B, they don't really understand the best market fit and the opportunities. So it takes a while. And again, you kind of lose the same time period with maybe more investment along the period, and you end up then hiring a lead generation company.
Yeah. To make the sales team generate leads is kind of like making an airplane or a vehicle carry a really heavy weight. Like it's kind of like it's using their time to do something other than selling because
Yeah,
their lead generation is time consuming,
a
right?
lot.
You want their time to have conversations and not do the lead generation. And
Yeah,
so if you're going to replace anything, replace lead generation first and then replace the sales guys, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Great. Okay, good chat. Thanks for your time. See you in the
Thanks,
next podcast.